Noman do they call me, my mother and my father and all my comrades as well. Hey everybody, Noman here, and I kind of wanted to do a quick impromptu, unscripted spiel here, whatever you want to call it, um, about gatekeeping in any kind of fandom, particularly in the Warhammer 40k fandom. Um, I think the way most people talk about gatekeeping, it's usually in a negative connotation, which is like, you know, the hyper nerds in the back turn up their noses at new people trying to get into the hobby because they don't know the details of the tyrannic war in the tyrannic invasion of Ultramar. They don't know anything about X character or Y character or Z character. And, you know, it generally, I think the way most people talk about gatekeeping is an elitist kind of attitude towards people trying to get um, into the fandom, and of course, I would say that's a very bad thing. However, I think that the act of having some standards for your community is not a bad thing. I think it is a necessary thing, and I think there are fandoms that suffer because uh, they're a little too open and bad actors take advantage of the fact that most people in XYZ or fandom are welcoming and friendly and they want everyone to be involved and don't want to turn anyone away. And then you end up with like really toxic elements of the fandom that essentially have been endorsed because nobody uh, told them to, you know, get out or ban them from uh, big community areas or policed their posts or whatever it is. Um, so I don't think that like having some basic standards for your community is a bad thing. Um, I think that 40k has some bad elements in a couple of different directions, and I'm not going to opine on specific political positions or anything like that. But I do think that there are some really negative aspects of the fandom that are almost going. I think most people are aware of them. Um, People who are cheaters, people who are elitists, people who are just abrasive and unpleasant and bad for the hobby. Um, I think there are some people who have some political ideology from many different directions who are fans of 40k. And while 40k, yes, to some degree is political satire, uh, it is also a game that has chainswords and such absurd grim darkness to it that you can't take it so seriously as to not. Honestly, I feel like 40k is an invitation for us to laugh at ourselves for our own zealotry. Um, it's like what the Imperium is built on is this mindless fury, hate, uh, in this unthinking adherence to one thing. That's what it's parodying. And if you can't have a conversation with somebody who disagrees with you, you might be the one who's being made fun of in 40k. Again, I'm not trying to point things out in particular. It's just I just wanted to talk about this for a little while, and this seemed like as good a time as any. So, I hope you guys found this interesting. I do these sort of things on occasion on my Patreon, so if you want to hear me ramble about things for a little while, feel free to sign up there, and I will try to be a little bit more frequent on those in the future. So, yeah, that was my ramble, and I hope you all enjoyed me rambling on for a little while. I guess my ultimate point was that being an elitist snob and keeping people out of a fandom because they're new and they don't know every single book in the Black Library and read it front to back twice, and don't get all the little in-jokes and don't understand what the different lore is. I think being welcoming to new people is something I'd want to encourage in the fandom, but I think there are some very serious toxic elements that it is perfectly acceptable for people to gatekeep. Um, but I think there are some people who are. I think there are some people who are gatekeeping the wrong things and focusing on an opinion that is different from their own rather than people actually being bad, harmful, malicious people who are bad for the fandom. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed listening, and yeah, be like decent people. That might be a radical idea that nobody else has ever thought of, but you've heard it here first from Noman. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Noman out.